I even played Tormod's Crypt in my like ridiculous Gargadon and Soul Artifact a couple years ago.
I've cast Tormod's Crypt significant amount of times
many
in my
times.
life.
Yeah.
Probably more than any other graveyard hate.
Really?
Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah.
Scavenging Ooze.
I've cast a lot of Scavenging Oozes.
Cast a lot of Scavenging Oozes. That'd be a fun episode. Yeah. Not even ranking them by power level, but just like which ones have we cast the most times.
So Spellbomb has become my favorite, and I can explain to you why.
Because it draws a card?
Yeah, well, and you'll think this is funny too. So there was this deck idea I tried to come up with at one point. I've messed with like versions of this many, many times, but you know I love the card Saheeli. It's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah.
And so the really cool thing about the second cycle of spell bombs was that you can trigger them when they go to the graveyard, whether or not you sacrifice them for their ability.
Okay.
So if I make a copy of spell bomb with my Saheeli, just because I happen to have it on turn one, because it's just a generally good card, I can sacrifice it at the end of the turn to like a Gargadon, and I can pay the 1 black to draw the card off.
Sure.
So it just sits on the battlefield as just like a decent thing to copy. And when you sacrifice it, you can draw the card. You don't have to actually exile a graveyard with it.
We're quickly going to rank what are our like most cast graveyard hate. So I think Scavenging Ooze is number 1 for me. I think after that's probably Neil Spellbomb, then Tormod's Crypt, then Rest in Peace.
All of these over Leyline of the Void.
And then Leyline of the Void would be number 5.
Okay, so for me...
Well, do you cast it on
Leyline of the Void?
0?
I was just going to say, yeah, you're not really casting it.
No, I think it's still number 5. Like I've done it like in Legacy. I played Mono Black Pox, and we had 4 in the sideboard then, and but like I like my sideboard to be so much more versatile than that card lets you be. I'd rather have like 3 different graveyard hate, like Neil Spellbomb, and Relic, and something. Relic is below all of those though, for sure. And as is Grafdigger's Cave.
The issue with Relic for me, and it has always been, and it's similar with Rest in Peace. I really like my graveyard.
Sure.
I don't like playing decks where I don't get to use my graveyard.
Sure.
It's usually a bummer for me. So the idea that I'm going to blow up my own graveyard to take care of yours, even though it's probably going to be way better for me if I do, it bums me out. So I don't like to play those cards. I like to play Spellbomb. I like to play.
And I think for me, if I'm going to exile my own graveyard, then I don't need my graveyard, and then I should be playing Rest in Peace.
Yes.
Like if I'm gonna like half-ass it with Relic of Progenitus, then I'm in a situation where I like kind of want my graveyard, but kind of don't, or I'm not in white, and I guess I don't need my graveyard, but I play white a lot.
I've played a lot of Rest in Pieces.
So Rest in Peace is fine.
I played a lot of Rest in Pieces, and like because I played Superior Burning Cocoa, I would have those in the sideboard just because like. Who cares? It's not a creature. I can't tutor for it, but like it's such a in Modern. It's such a like cards like that or Stony Silence. They're just these like bombs you drop on turn 2 in game 2 that just like often end the game.
Yeah, I think part of it also is like if I'm playing white, there's better options. If I'm playing black, there are better options. If I'm playing green, there are better options. And so it leaves I have to be playing blue or red to want to exile and to use Relic of Progenitus.
Relic's fully colorless. That's the biggest value, right? Like so even Spellbomb is not fully colorless. Like
and if I'm playing blue, historically I'm either playing white with it, or I'm playing one of the other colors we mentioned with it, or I'm like doing something with artifacts. That Tormod's Crypt is a little bit more exciting because you can play it, or like Grafdigger's Cage is more exciting to me in a lot of ways.
Right.
Or if I'm playing blue, I'm playing Snapcaster Mage, and then Relic makes me annoyed because I have to like exile my like card I want to like manually Path to Exile if I have to, and then I can't buy it back with Snapcaster Mage. So I'd rather play even like targeted graveyard hate.
Crypt is the most. So Crypt and Spellbomb to me are the 2 most interesting. They're the ones I like the most because Spellbomb for the reason I mentioned, because you can do weird tricks with it when it just goes to the graveyard. You can draw anyway.
Sure.
And then Tormod's Crypt because costs 0. So there's all kinds of weird shenanigans where you can just recast that card like over and over again,
right?
Which is really fun. And like putting it on top of your library, you can do lots of cool stuff with it. So that's our quick hot take on the best graveyard hate cards, or the ones we've cast the most anyway.
In Modern, at least, yeah.
At least in Modern. I mean, I think it's what exists that's not that we didn't just mention. There's no legacy cards.
The sweetest one I think I've ever cast as like the final button on this hot take is
Jund Charm. Please say it's Jund Charm.
No. Like there's like Rakdos Charm too, right? No, it's what's the flashback blue-green spell? I've like wrecked you with it a few times actually in Highlander. It is called.
I know the one Memory's Journey.
Memory's Journey is so dope.
Wait, no, I just forgot my favorite one.
Okay.
Because you reminded me because of Highlander. It's like my favorite card. Suffer the Past. This is like I've cast Suffer the Past like second or third most ever. Suffer the Past, by the way, guys, is a fringe playable card. This card's actually almost good. It's from Rise of the Eldrazi. It's 1 black X instant. Exile up to X cards from target opponent's graveyard. They lose X life. You gain X life, and it's an instant. So, in like it's actually a way more playable card than people recognize, because like you hold it in your hand if you're any kind of a deck that just wants to eke your opponent out. Often, if you have 5 or 6 lands, you're just like lava axing them end of game to just win the game. But it's also like on turn 3 or something like that, if they're trying to do shenanigans, it's just like a drain, gain 2, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, but it's instant speed, so it's in response to them like targeting or doing some weird stuff.
I think it's good when graveyard decks are more in the Reanimator, like Snapcaster Mage or stuff like world, and it's worse in the world of like Dredge Through the Breach, where like every card they have is kind of the same card. And you getting 3 of those out of their graveyard doesn't do anything. Matter. But like being able to like wreck their Snapcaster Mage or like wreck their like reanimate effect is like peak magic.
Yeah, but it's also good, like for instance in like persist combo decks and things like that, to be able to hit the creature with the trigger.
Yeah, because that's like a specific thing that's you like where key pieces are important to their graveyard interaction. I think it's really good.
It's like definitely one of my favorite underplayed, like, and those cards that I have that feeling on, like Postmortem Lunge was another one like that. They often are cards that I'll end up seeing in like a Jerry Thompson list, the top 8 somewhere, where he's like playing 2 copies of like my favorite card that I was never smart enough to figure out how to actually make good, but like some player like Jerry does it.
Well, and like they're both, all these cards are like also in the frame of like one of my favorite cards from my like, and it hasn't done anything, but Cling to Dust was like my favorite card at the pre-release for Journey into Nyx.
No, it's Theros Beyond Death.
Theros Beyond Death. Right. Cling to Dust is 1 black instant, exile target card from your graveyard. If it was a creature card, you gain 3 life. Otherwise, you draw a card and you can escape it for 4. And just being able to like use as a card draw end in late game that also lets you like get graveyard cards was like very valuable in Theros Beyond Death limited.
Yeah.
But then I have not played it in Modern, so who knows? It's not a real card.